So go ahead and come into your Sukhasana, your easy seat, and go ahead. We're going to actually take the flesh of our thigh, roll it out a little bit, and the other thigh, and roll it out. So you really feel that tailbone and that grounding between the 2 points of the sits bones. So you're like pointed in, and you can almost lean the heart forward and feel that triangulation of the pelvis. For women, the yoni; for men, the lingam, the actual sex organs pulling down into the earth. So you have this bit of a tripod, a 3-point triangle for your seat. So there's a tilt forward. I always recommend, if you do have that blanket, cushion, towel, go ahead and put it underneath you to give you that tilt. We would like to have the hips over the knees, and we're going to start with a little bit of an opening of pranayama, of some breath work. One of my personal favorites, Nadi Shodhana, the alternate nostril breathing, so that we can come into a little bit of mental and physical alignment before practice. And we're going to close with this as well, I believe. That's my intention. Find that seat and let's close our eyes for just a moment, even if you need to watch me to go through Nadi Shodhana. Just tap in, begin to scan your body from the tail. So if you can actually feel that descent of tailbone, of both sit bones, notice if right is pressing into earth deeper than left, or if left is rooting deeper than right. That gentle tilt forward, yet the lift of the rib cage, the drawing back of the shoulders and slightly down. So if you want to roll the shoulders up, back, and down once or twice to kind of help the body to engage that expression. And then the crown of the head is lengthening up. And you feel the height of the jawline. So there's a gentle, and when you tilt the jaw up, you'll feel the frontal lobe is kind of bringing you out into the future, and you tilt it too far down into the past. So find that even line where the forehead is in line with the back of the skull. Good. So for Nadi Shodhana, you can turn your left hand up and you can close the circle of the thumb and index finger in Yana Mudra. This creates that grounding circular practice, and it helps to plant that seed with the left, so that lunar side, the heart central side. The right hand will come up, and we're going to just do a little bit of an easier variation. Some people like to touch into the third eye center, and if you do, please do so and activate that Ajna chakra. Otherwise, let's take index and middle finger inside of the palm. Release thumb, ring, and pinky. So kind of like cowbunga. So cowbunga is pinky and thumb. Add the ring finger. It's going to give you a little bit more height. Okay. If one of your nostrils is blocked, I use my opposite finger to pull the flesh of my cheek away to open up the nasal passageway. It's quite normal to have one side blocked. We rarely breathe equally out of both sides. So just notice. And we're going to work on helping to open up both. So take that first breath and just notice if one nostril is more in tune than the other. And exhale all the breath out. We're going to close the right nostril. Inhale through the left. Close left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Close right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Close left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Close right. Exhale left. Inhale left all the way up. Bring the breath to the crown of the head. Close left. Exhale right. Slow, smooth, soft. Inhale right. Close right, exhale left. We're going to continue this. We're going to add a kumbhak, which means we're going to hold the breath in the body. Inhale left. Close both. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale right. Inhale right. Close both. Exhale left. Inhale left. Hold both. Exhale right. Inhale right. Close both. Exhale left. One more round with a 4-second hold. Inhale left. Hold. Exhale right. Inhale right. Hold. Exhale left. Inhale, counting 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhaling 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale right. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale left. 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 6. Hold both. Exhale left. We have one more round like this. Inhale left. Hold. Exhale right. Complete the cycle. Inhale right. Hold at the top. Exhale left. Release the right hand. Close the circle. Close your eyes. Thumb and index finger connect. Inhale through both nostrils. Exhale. Allow yourself a few moments just to observe what is within. Allow yourself a few moments to stay awake to the internal, interior breath and body. Bring all your awareness to the nostrils, to where the tongue is resting in your mouth. To the third eye center, to the crown of the head lifting, to the shoulders drawing back and down, to the chin drawing back just slightly. And there is your seat. Once you're in that place of awareness, turn the hands down on the thighs. Opening your eyes softly. Good morning again. So if you're joining me a little late, we are at the west wing of the Jamaica Inn. So we're in number 17. The beautiful view. So I will take you on a little bit of a journey for the hips and lower back today. The legs have been crossed for a little while, so we're going to free them out and come on to the hands and knees. So go ahead and just tilt yourself forward and bring the hands in front of you. And release the palms down. Let the fingertips be rooted. And draw the ribs in, draw the belly in. Express the back in cat. Let the head drip down. And then draw the arc wave of the spine in cow. Let the tail peel up and the sitting bones pull apart. 2 more times like that. Wrapping up and under. Let the cage of the ribs squeeze. Feel that nice squeezing and hugging inward of lungs. And then draw chest forward. Draw tail towards crown. 1 more time. Wrapping up and in. And then draw the heart forward. Feel that tail curve. You're in this little puppy dog. And bring your forearms down, right and left. So we have the forearms down. We're tilting the tail back, charging the heart forward. So it's a bit of a sphinx opening. And feel that extension of the upper shoulders and back, sitting bone wide. And then maybe you climb the forearms out. And maybe they go out further. So you're sinking towards Anahatasana. And you can feel that hammock of the spine, that kind of hanging down of the heart, the dipping of the heart like a tea bag in warm water, and let it steep there for a few moments. Hips are spreading apart. I want you to keep drawing the sitting bones away from one another, widening the lower back. So you're spreading the back open as you pull the heart forward and down. Not so much forward, apologies, but down, and the shoulders draw back. And as though there's this tug-of-war in the middle of the upper back, you can let the forehead drop down this time. Usually we have the chin forward. Let the forehead drop down, because the direction we're going to go is back towards child's pose from here. Bring the toes together. Notice how that changes the outer thigh line. Notice how that changes the hips. And then walk the hands back, walk the hands back, walk the hands back, until you sit back in Balasana in child's pose. So your ribs are resting on the thighs. The knees are wide if you want to widen them. Let the bowl of the belly fill in between the thighs and legs. And let the head rest down towards the earth here. If there's a lot going on in your knees, put a blanket or a towel between the crease of the calf and the knee. So you'll put it right under the knee point and slide back. You can also cushion under the actual knee themselves, but you're more on the shin here, really. So feel that drawing back and take a few moments here. And I want you to experience the energetics of child's pose, this bowing down of the forehead to the earth, the surrendering of heart and belly, the feeling of being held by the earth. And notice what happens if you turn your palms up. That energetic surrender of hands, the receptivity of heart. Lifting the head, engaging the energy forward, turn the palms back down. Peel yourself forward. Take the knees under. Turn the left toes and turn the right toes and feel the curl of the toes. We're going to press back to Adho Mukha Shivanasana, downward facing dog, but I want you to really ignite into the toes. So we're still kind of crouching tiger in dragon. Walk the feet wide. And they're about hip width apart. So take a look at the front of your hip points. Draw a line down the front center of the thigh to the knee, down the shin, front of the ankle to the middle toe. Yeah. Now from there, look forward at the hands for a moment. Walk them back if you need a little more grip. And take a look, ground the thumb. So actually curve the thumb so you have a bit of a climbing thumb, like you're not hitchhiking, but you're bending the thumb down and in. Press into the index finger, draw the inner elbows under so you feel a hollowing under the armpits. And then let the head draw back down. Start to draw the heels towards earth and slide the sitting bone towards sky. Heel towards earth and slide sitting bone towards sky. Press into the hands deeply. Heel towards earth and sitting bone towards sky. Sometimes the adornment I choose is not beneficial to downward facing dog. Heels towards earth and sitting bone towards sky. Ah, good. And as you close your eyes again, explore where you start to feel struggle or exhaustion. Also, once you've sent your breath to those places, so maybe for me it's my the lower back, right side, there's some struggle. In my neck, I feel exhaustion. My feet feel very strong. My hands feel very strong. Let the belly draw back. The ribs draw slightly together. Keep the drawing out. So pull the shoulders a little wider and down the back. Press to the hands deeper. Good. As the sitting bones spread apart, the heels descend further. Yes. Now look forward and walk the hands back. Just slowly. Slowly. 5, 4. Might come onto your fingertips. What we're doing is rolling into Uttanasana. 3, 2, and Uttanasana. Good. Forward fold. So from your forward fold, widen the heels a bit so they're in line with the pinky toe. So they might be a little bit wider than the hip line, and I want that to happen. Draw the chest towards the thighs, and a soft bend in your knees is actually more than acceptable here. I'm going to come to the center of the mat so you have best visibility. The ribs and the thighs are meeting, so the knees are going to bend. You're not coming into chair. We did a lot of Utkatasana on Thursday, so if you're feeling for chair, you can practice that class later today. Draw that down and take your hands, so you should feel very surrounded by the root of your feet. Take your hands under the calves and press the calves forward as you hug your heart towards your thighs. Good. Now let the lob, literally, lob the head down. Let the head lower. And that lower back should feel, and should is a pressure of expectation, but I'm hoping your lower back is spreading. So press the calves down towards the floor and forward towards the shins. You're bracing the hands down towards the floor and forward. So you're sliding down and pressing forward. Yes. Now the ribs and the thighs are having a conversation, and hopefully it's a beloved one, like having tea with a best friend. So let them meet and have a nice conversation. The knees are going to bend and the lower back is widening. Now, as you slide the sitting bones higher up the ceiling behind you, good. See if you can spread the shoulders down the back. So you're going to actually draw the heads of your shoulders back and down. Bend the elbows back a little deeper, still pressing calves down to earth and forward to shin. I know there's not a lot of external beauty to this pose, but boy, does it feel good when you're actually experiencing it. So if you're at home and you're kind of watching, just get up and do this today. If this is all you do for yourself today, oh my gosh, what a gift. Spreading that back open. So it's like when you make a perfect, and you know, whether you're gluten-free or not, you can have gluten-free toast. So you make that perfect, like gluten-free or that perfect sourdough toast, and you spread the soft, creamy peanut butter over it. It just evenly covers and kind of melts into every nook. We're taking that time to warm up the bread. So that we can just spread that musculature open and really get the fascia to release, okay? So we're going to shift this energetically by drawing the head forward. My legs are shaking. I hope yours are starting to wake up too. Slide the hands down the front line of the shins. Press them down and back a little. You're definitely below the knee, and start to charge the chest forward. So that should shift to the back of the legs, maybe into the upper point of the hamstring and the connector of the glutes, maybe down into the calf, depending on where you're holding more tension in your legs. My hikers may feel calves, and my bike riders may feel hamstrings. As you reach down, let the heel really point into earth, so really squeeze the heel down, and then let the chest start to come down. You may walk your hands deeper down the shin. So it may even reach to the ankle. That's okay if you're at the ankle point. You have a little more flexibility. You're still pulling the legs down and drawing the seat up. So there's a dynamic pulling downward, pushing downward, drawing up, and spreading apart of seat. Spread the sitting bones apart. Go ahead, I know. Like, it's that, like, you're like, woo, like, really get them open and wide, okay? So you're drawing down, you're rooting up the chest. Those of you who work with blocks, you can press your hands right on the blocks or books, or if you have the flexibility in your body today, they can come forward onto the earth. That's going to give you a little more depth in the back of the knees. Take a few moments here. So if you're like, oh gosh, I really want to drop my head here, go ahead, by all means. And once you've dropped your head, give it a little nod. Yes, say yes, 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 yes. Yes, letting my body experience opening and not rushing through. So when I teach a healing hatha, we find that balance of the interior body and breath experiencing union. That's the yoga, the yoke, the union of these two, the physical and the subtle, coming together. And the conversation within is what we need to listen to. And it's hard to listen if we're always in motion. So the stillness is part of that internal dialogue. It's like when the mic gets turned on, that's when you stay still. Wherever you are, notice if you can climb a little deeper. Maybe the hands lower. Maybe you take your blocks away and come back to the ankles. Go to that deeper point because you've earned it, because the body has opened. And I know this is not a fun place to be, okay? Trust me, this is not easy. It may look very easy to the external world, but standing in Uttanasana and really exploring the different variations and elements of Uttanasana is a very deep practice. It's one of my favorite asanas, to be honest. Ujjayi, or nice exhale at the mouth. Beautiful. Now take the hands to the lower back. And make two little fists. And actually give your lower back a bit of a pounding. Like, and right into the seat, the flesh of the thigh, the lower back and glute where they meet. And just give them a nice little activation. So hammer into that space. Hammer down the back of the thighs. Don't we love when we do some self-massage on a Sunday? Hammer into the hamstrings. Knock gently outside the calves. Beautiful. Slide the chest forward. Walk the hands out. Walk the feet out. Now let's see how downward facing dog feels after that. Woohoo, right? The heels are descending. The toes lift for a moment and redescend. The shoulders drop back. And feel that archaic wave of breath. Moving up and down the back. If you need to come onto the left knee, you can. Otherwise, keep lifted and draw the right leg up and behind you. And hold it there, extended at a 90-degree angle. So don't take it all the way to the ceiling as we normally would in a vinyasa. Wrap the thigh under. Turn the toes down. You should see the toes. And plug the leg into the body. Beautiful. Now from there, come forward onto the left knee. See those left knee people? You're just ahead of the game. So you're in that 3-point. The hands are going to walk back under the shoulders and feel that extension, that engagement. So what happens here is we tend to overextend, right, and take it all into the lower back. Hug in and let that lower back feel active and strong through the belly. The core is super strong here. And we're going to come into a little bit of balance through the midline. If that left knee needs support, you can roll the mat under. Or if you're feeling really fiery, you can lift the knee up and do this without the knee on the ground, okay? I'm not going to do that. Or maybe I will for a moment just to show you. So we're going to press into the right hand, take the left hand to the heart. That's why I didn't want to do it, because it's hard. Left arm reaches out. Most of us have the knee down. Great choice. If it's up, that's great. More fire. Keep the extension, inner balance, inner belly. Strong transverse. Left hand comes down. If the knee was up, set it down for a moment so that you can take the leg, hug it in, and step it forward. Okay, Anjaneyasana. Let the hands come inside, okay? Inside of the thigh, whether you're on fingertips, block. Curl the left toes under and slide the knee and thigh back as far as and deep as they'll go. Then walk your right foot out, but keep the heel in alignment with the outer edge of the mat and bring your hands forward. Curl the left toes under. See if you can slide back a little deeper now that you've created that space. Beautiful. So that inner thigh, that connectivity of the hamstring into the hip point and the lower back are going to have a conversation. Some of us want to bring the heel back a bit, and that's perfectly fine. Some of us may want to turn the foot out if external rotation is more comfortable for you, by all means. I tend to thrive in external rotation, so my body wants to go there very quickly. So I try to actually say, you know what? Let's have a little bit more of a challenging conversation where let's try to be where you're not thriving and go somewhere where you're going to grow. It's very easy to stay stagnant where we thrive. So if you're finding it challenging, maybe you go to that challenge place of like discomfort. Now, the pelvis is drawing forward and down. The heart is going to climb out of the belly. And you may come onto one forearm. Maybe not. You may start to go there and say, there's no way my forearm is touching the earth, and you'll stay on your palms. If the call to the forearms is received, and you're able to breathe there into the fullness of your belly and spine, by all means, answer that call. One more breath. We're going to come into symmetry and note where we are because I'm going to turn you around towards the back of your mat. We're going to do the same thing, facing back. But on the way there, we're going to stop in Bekasana, frog pose, and we're going to do that twice this morning. Bekasana is like all about hips and lower back release. And I had a student back at Union Studio, and he loved Bekasana, and everyone else just did not. So this one's for you. Come up onto your hands. The back leg, bring the pelvis up a little bit, is just going to rotate back and flex the foot back and then turn towards the side of your mat. I believe I'm still in the camera screen. I can't see myself now, so I won't come too far forward. Bring the hands down and take a look at your feet and walk them out so that you can see the toes and the knee is in line with the heel. The knee is aligned with the heel. Good. Now, press yourself back like you're going into child's pose, as we did before. You should feel a nice groin stretch here. And then if you're called to come down onto the forearms. There's not a lot I can say about this physical space we're in right now. So instead, I'm going to ask you to close your eyes, draw your chin down. Deep belly breaths, full long spine, the back peeling open, the back spreading open. Just 5 more breaths. We will revisit this place. So if you're just starting to settle in, know that we'll come back for dessert. This is just the appetizer. If you're on your forearms, come back onto the palms, ever so gently. Press yourself forward. Good. And then turn to the back of your mat. So you're going to rotate the left foot up and the right leg back. And you're going to walk that left foot wide, hands are in the inside, and you're going to draw that right leg back. And again, many times I curled the toe under and I scooted the thigh and knee so that I could create more space. Now, find out where that left heel wants to go, where you can really ground down and draw that energy of the thigh, pelvis, and back down into opening. and then lengthen up out of the torso. If you're called to the forearms, by all means, answer that call. It just means you have to, I always say we have to work harder to get that stretch. It has nothing to do with you're more flexible. It's just you have to go deeper to create opening. And from that space of depth, where else can you make that experience a little bit more dynamic? Are you pressing the inner edge of that left foot down? Are you extending up and out of the torso to create space through the front psoas and hip flexor? Is the back rolling to the left so much that you're not opening into the lumbar? Go and draw that right sitting bone down towards the heel and thigh, spreading the back equally and evenly as best as you can. Are both elbows grounded, right and left, or are you putting all the weight onto the right side? See if the left can take a little bit more of that intention. Let the belly fill with breath. If you're on forearms, climb out, left and right. If the foot was rotated out or externally rotated, drop back in. Come up a little bit higher, climb back further, rotate that foot again. Rotate back to the center. We're on our way back to the front now, and we're going to come into frog but a little wider, so take the knees wider. Ooh, it's truly very challenging. Walk the toes out. Bring the palms down. Don't give up. Stay with me. All right, trust me. I'm not enjoying this either. But sometimes you got to do things that aren't comfortable, right? Oh, goodness. Okay. The pelvis is reaching back. The heart is drawing up for now. I know most of us want to just get right on those forearms and kind of climb into child's pose. But take a few moments here and really allow that lower back to spread open and apart. So bring the palms down. And remember when we were doing that anahatasana and the cat-cow, feel that expression upward. Upward with the heart. Close your eyes. Go inside and start to traverse the body. Send breath to spaces and places where there's tension, darkness, knots. Where there's holding, withholding. A few more breaths here. Stay lifted, stay up, stay awake, stay aware. Okay. Bring the feet together. Toes touch. Ooh. And press yourself back into this open seat for a moment. I know. Listen to the knees. If this isn't comfortable for them, you can just cross your legs in Sukhasana and just take a moment here. We're going to turn back to the front of our mat, so I'll be meeting you back at the head of the gate. But just take a moment and let that sink in. So the back can be very tender from this expression. And take your own hands. Fingers are together, thumbs are apart. I'm going to ask you to draw your thumbs right in to the spots of the lower back. So it's like they're going to meet and kind of find that sweet spot right where you feel the baseline. So inside kidney and down. Good. And if you're like, I don't know what she's talking about, put your thumbs on your back. You'll be all right. Press that down so that you can root down to slide the knees together. If you're in Sukhasana, you're just going to stay in Sukhasana. And then release the hands forward and climb yourself to the front of the mat. The left leg is going to reach back in alignment with the hip in the back. Plug the leg into the body, flex the foot. Now we are going to come into that balance and core activation. So those of you who lifted the left knee before are going to curl the toes and lift the right knee. Fire. Good. And then you'll take the right hand to the heart and out. So you're either on a knee or you're lifted. Engage the belly. wobble, wonder, but keep the reach and keep the connectivity in the midline of the body. 3 more breaths. If the knee was lifted, it will come down. Hand comes down. Left leg stays lifted. Press it back towards downward facing. Don't reach to the ceiling, though. Reach straight back into that 90-degree angle. Good. Heel descends. Right sitting bone long. Press into both arms, strong and long. And draw the left leg up and in. Find that extension of the knee and the right knee. So we're back on our knees. Cross the legs and pull them through. And draw them out in front of us. So we haven't had a lot of time in our practice for the seated series, and we're going to take that time today. So I had mentioned we may come into pigeon, but I think we're going to do a lot more of the forward fold seated series and some of those delicious twists that are going to nourish the back and the hips in a different way. So take the right foot and pull it back and in, and place the foot to the inner crest of the thigh. So the heel's coming in towards the groin. And then sit up tall on the sitting bones again. Again, roll flesh out of the way. Roll flesh out of the way. Find that seat and hands come to the hips. Hinge back through the hips. So I like to actually walk back sometime and create the lift of the heart, and then tent the fingertips down on the mat or on the outside of your mat. And you just so charge the heart up and out of the spine. Stay lifted for a moment. Not so much in the head and in the energy of the mind. You can close the eyes and draw the chin down and back. But stay lifted in the torso. As you climb forward, fingertips tented. Stay up through the arms and tented. So we're not trying to just reach around the foot right off the bat, okay? We're really working to open the back of the thigh and leg. Climbing out. Out. And again, we're not even going to touch or hold the foot, so stop thinking that, okay? I know that's our classic variation, but we're working with a little more of a intent to lower back opening instead of the hamstring. The hamstring will open the lower back, coincidentally, but I want you to really peel that right sitting bone down. Now the right palm is tilted and lifted. Rotate the right hand palm up and just let it rest. So the elbow and shoulder are hanging. Okay? This left arm is actually going to come back, and you're going to push the torso down by doing almost what looks like a chaturanga. This arm's doing nothing. Palm can turn up or down. Okay? This right hand now is going to turn towards the foot or leg, and it's going to guide the torso in towards the inner thigh. So your heart's now tilted towards that left inner thigh. The hand is now going to come to the shin or to the knee, and you're going to actually start to rotate yourself towards that left side. The hand can come back and actually peel or walk yourself back. So there's a turning of the torso up and inward towards the thigh. Not yet going down. We are going to go down, but we're going to get that sideways twist opening first. So see if you can root that right sitting bone down deeper. And draw like you want to rest your right ear on your knee. You most likely won't. I don't. But draw it like you want to, like your knee has a great secret and you want to listen to it. Now, keep that rotation of heart down. Bring the left hand closer so you can twist that last bit of depth. And then take both hands to the shin and bring the forehead towards the knee. See if you can actually slide the shin down and away as you did before in your standing forward fold. So you're actually squeezing the shin with both hands and pressing the flesh down and towards the heel. And then draw the toes back towards you. Good. Deep belly breath in that engagement. Let the right knee reach away and down. Shoulders descend back. Hands pressing flesh of shin down towards ankle. Left hand remains pressing shin down and keeping in that slight internal rotation. Right hand now comes out and forward. Good. That right hand now is going to engage and reach out and forward. Palm turned towards foot. Flex the foot back. Still pressing that shin forward and down. Let the right hand pull you up, 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 and away. It's going to rotate you towards the right knee. And the hand comes back behind you and tent it. Hand can move up the shin now to the thigh. Press the thigh down and get that rotation. Right through the back. The left hand is going to free itself from the thigh and come to the outside of the right knee. And go ahead and just turn the right knee up and walk it towards the knee. It won't be as close as you're used to. And go ahead and bring the crease of the arm around it. And just take that gentle twist out towards the right. Draw the heart up, the right shoulder head back. And use that hold of that arm against that knee to actually lift it up and cross it over. Okay, now both sitting bones are going to reignite to the earth. We tend to roll onto our left side here, so reignite both sitting bones. Let the foot root down. Let the twist come from the lower belly, pelvis, lower back. Then the head can turn. I mean, I have a really good view, so I kind of want to turn my head, but you may be looking at your wall. So if there's nothing really to see, work on that rotation coming from the lower back. And then release the right arm, take it to the sky. You're now facing that inner thigh and knee. Bring both arms around the shin. Lift the shin up. So you are leaning a little more into the back, into the seat. Take a hold of that foot and cross it over. For most of us, it's going to sit right on the thigh. Hands are going to come back. Fingers face towards the body. Realign yourself and then slide the heel of the left leg up. So we are doing a little pigeon. We're doing the seated pigeon variation, which a lot of people don't get to experience. Flex the foot, turn the fingertips down and away. So we're going to rotate fingers facing back now. And I want you to pull the knee towards the front of your mat. Pull it out and away. Walk up as far as you can get your chest towards your thigh. Palms can be down or lifted depending on what feels good for your wrists. Pull the knee forward and away. Really get that rotation through the IT band. Lifting the heart up. Come a little more forward. Good. Slide the thigh out until you are seated. The seat is going to go a little to the left. It's like awkward seat. Right hand roots, left hand to the right outer thigh, and re-engage that twist one more time. You can tent. Take a hold of the right leg, slide it to the front of your mat. Take the left foot in. We're on the opposite side, okay? Symmetry. Bring that heel right into the thigh and slide the flesh out and away as you did before. What a flesh sliding. So draw yourself forward. Now remember, the intent is not for the foot. We're going to come into that rotation. So I'm going to just turn around so that I'm bringing my energy towards you. We're going to come into that rotation where we're walking the hands out, tented, like a grand pianist, and draw the torso up and out. And then climbing forward and consequently downward. Let the chin drop if you wish and close your eyes. And the conversation is completely different. The breath is flowing into the places where right now there is space. And notice where there is tension, and now send the breath there. Just as we directed our breath in Nadi Shodhana, One nostril out the other, in one, out the other. See if you can inhale your breath to that place of tension, direct it there. And exhale it through another place of tension. Climbing the hands out. They're still wide. Now, the left arm is just going to melt down. Just drop it down. The right hand is actually going to come back, and you're going to begin to rotate your chest towards your inner thigh again. So we're working into that connection point of the hamstring and the glute, so it'll spread into the lower back. Rotate the heart towards the inner thigh. Inner ear listening down. Good. Turn the hand towards the calf or knee to get a little more of a rotation. It'll come through shoulder, back, and chest. And again, if that knee had a secret and your left ear was the only thing that could hear it, how close are you to hearing that secret? Like, not the intention of ear resting on knee, but like lean into the secret, lean into that wonderment. Let the breath guide you into it. And then the hand is going to take the shin. Get a hold of that shin. Take your right hand out and back and let it pull you back so you have a deeper twist through the side body. Let the eyes, ears, and neck descend towards earth. Let the eyes, ears, and neck descend towards earth. One more, draw back. And then both hands slide to the shin. Press the shin forward and down and ignite that bit of a center channel. Hands sliding forward and down. Keep that reach. And now the right hand is really guiding the foot to it, a bit of a more internal. So the right hand is going to push down and in. Good. The left arm is going to free itself out, climb it out towards the foot. Right arm is drawing down and in, and left is reaching outward. Take it up, 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 and rotate it back. Fingertips come down, opening the heart. Right hand comes to the thigh or knee of the left leg, and go ahead and just draw it up and walk it forward and up. Bring the arm over the shin, and then find that rotation out and around to the left. Both sitting bones active, lengthening out of spine and heart, flexing and extending right long leg, drawing left shoulder head down the back, taking the fingertips out, and then exhale. Breathe deep through the belly, the heart, the lungs. Get a little squeeze into the kidneys. The squeeze of the arm over the thigh is just going to lift and cross it over if possible. You can easily keep it on the inner channel of the thigh as well. That cross is going to come a little bit more into the piriformis, which does give the back that nice release. I hope you can hear the ocean. Inhale, fill the body. Exhale, rotate around. Right arm reaches up. And all the way around to the left. Go ahead and take that little bit of a reverse rotation. And then slide the right thigh up. Flex the foot and come up high on your seat. So we're closing with the seated pigeon variation. So for those of you who haven't experienced this is great if there's something going on in your lower back or the hips are so tight that you're unable to sit in pigeon. This is a great way to get into that space. So as the ankle's crossed over, the knee reaches away forward and towards that left corner of your mat. Draw the heart up. Walk in a little closer, if you will. Draw the heart up, knee reaches away. And then all you're going to do is let the knee descend down. Let the other knee drop, lifting up through the chest, and then rotating back to the left one more time. So the hand can come across thigh or knee. You can use your forearm and really get that final twist through the back. Hips are opening as well. And then come back to center. So we're going to direct the camera a little bit differently so that I can slide my mat up against this wall. And if you are near a wall or a column or something in your house where that you can have that support, we're going to close with legs up the wall. So if you don't have a wall or any of that support, you're going to come into classic Shavasana. Otherwise, we're just going to redirect the camera a little bit so that you can see the legs up the wall. And I'm going to slide my mat right up against this beautiful blue Jamaica Inn wall as the camera rotates towards me, or so I hope. And then from that space, the way to get into this is you're going to slide your hip against the wall. You're going to lie down on your back, scoot a little closer, and then take your legs up and then slide your seat against the wall. Okay? Arms can release down by the sides, palms facing up. Eyes closed, breath full. And all of that energy we've been activating in our legs and our feet and our hips and our back are now grounding. So we're really telling the hips, the legs, the feet, the back that the healing and the release and the surrender is at point. It is their time. All of our intention is now in that space and sphere of the body. Let the eyes drop into their sockets. The forehead soften. The brow unfurrow, the line of the hair surrender, skull falling into earth, jaw unhinging, tongue softening away. The weight of the earlobes, back of the neck, heads of shoulders. Belly breaths full, not forced. Thighs rolling out. Feet and knees turning outward. Allow yourself to completely surrender here. Those of you in Shavasana, the legs are rolled out. And the intention of surrendering the legs as though they were falling through the floor, just dropping. And those with the Viparita Karani experience of legs up the wall, let the legs fall into the socket of the hip. So you're like, oh, just surrendered the back. Wherever you are, drop a little deeper as I read from the Radiant Sutras in this practice. A particular reading about the journey of the breath and breath awareness. Let your mind drop into breath, and if it wanders, let it stay with me and let it stay with my words. Remain surrendered and centered wherever you are. Surrendered and centered wherever you are. Marut. Marut suggests the breath is wild and magical like lightning. Let go of your civilized self and welcome your wildness, your storms. You are part of nature, part of the earth, a dynamic and self-sustaining little system within the larger ecosphere. The electrifying, magnificent, heavenly breath, Marut, keeps on quickening the life force, rolling on, rotating inwardly and outwardly. The practice here is to do nothing. Simply enjoy the show as this magic stuff flows inward, turns, and then flows outward and turns again. Welcome the flash of sensations, emotions, thoughts, and breath. Lightning is flashing in the body. Breath is moved by a spark of electricity. Thoughts are waves of subtle electricity flashing through your body and brain. Your heart beats every second or so, and each pulsing of the heart is incited by a little spark of electricity. Welcome it all. Revel in it as you would the rain if you were a farmer. Breathing is a part of nature. Breathing is exciting and it propels itself. It's a charging, dynamic process of life roaring along. If you want to know peace, let breath excite you. As you explore the sensations that are flowing in your body, as you are breathing right now, you might consider one of these thoughts. I am awake to the electricity of life. The dynamic power of breath is renewing me moment by moment. Nature is wild and serene, and so am I. Stay with your breath in gratitude for its gift, acknowledging the power, the electricity, and the energy that it gives you. Those of you with legs up the wall, and if you'd like to remain there as I close the practice, please do so for at least another 5 minutes. And those in Shavasana, you too can remain where you are. If you've particularly scheduled yourself around the 1 hour time slot and your legs are up the wall, you'll just let the knees start to bend and let them turn and release to the right. And those of you in Shavasana will roll over onto your right side. Those of you staying in surrender, please remain so. And hold space for us closing practice. As your left hand rests on the earth, those of us rising to close the practice at this time will root the intention down. And if there isn't one, come to one. And then sit up with it and bring your hands to your heart and imprint it upon your heart space. Bowing your head down to that intention, to that intent. Filling with electricity and breath awareness. Thumb knuckles sliding up to third eye center and remembering that practice of Nadi Shodhana, knowing we can always balance our energy within. The life force within me honors that within each of you. Namaste.